Let's fucking rock and roll. Hard balls and a brofist to you all! Sad monkeys in the chat. I don't like raiding no more. It kills me. My soul. Oh, Dragon Soul. Deathwing. Why? Deathwing, the true conqueror of people. Did Deathwing set out on his mission? His mission to destroy Azeroth, and was he successful? So many people the Dragon Soul brought down. Perhaps it was a huge troll by Blizzard themselves. Perhaps they wanted to crush us in such a manner. And they succeeded. Don't let that nasty dragon get in your way. It is, of course, the Daily Preach. But it's also Workshop Wednesday. My favourite, one of my favourite times of the week. Of course, there's Drama Friday. Or, what if I was to tell you that on Friday, I have a drama story about how I, apparently, was responsible for getting one of you arrested. What would you say to that? Looking forward to Friday? I know I am. I'm looking forward to it as well. I am indeed looking forward to that. And how I, little old me, sat here just being me, could possibly be responsible for such travesty. I don't think so. I want now. Tell us now. Don't make us wait. Of course you will wait with anticipation and bated breath. It may or may not be Drama Thursday tomorrow. It depends, because today is Emma's birthday. My fiancée, carrying the child that spawned from my loins. It's her birthday. So today's workshop will be prompt, to the point, but still will be full of magical wisdom about how to be awesome at World of Warcraft. That's what we're here to do, right? We want to be awesome. We don't just want to be good. We don't want to be in the middle. We don't want to be average. We want to be fucking awesome. That's what we want to do. And that's what Workshop Wednesday is all about. Drama Friday, of course, comes later. Today I'm going to do, what I like to think is like a tanking-themed workshop. I have something which you will find hilarious. You'll find thoroughly hilarious. I believe you will. She's not here. You can stop saying happy birthday. It's fine. She isn't here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She's not here. Forget it. She doesn't know what you're saying. She doesn't know. Just forget it. It means I am going out later, though. I am going out immediately after the show. And, of course, delivering to Ghost, this arrived today. The Razor Death Adder left-handed edition for Mr. Ghost. That left-handed freak of nature who can't, of course, play World of Warcraft without his precious left-handed mouse. Has arrived today, so we will be giving that to Ghosty immediately after the show as well. So many things to do. Yes, the Left Adder has arrived, which is good shit. Good shit. It was actually remarkably cheap, surprisingly. I have 3 videos. We're including 2 monks today. I haven't done a monk workshop, and it's not because I'm afraid of the monk. New class. I've never played it and raided and killed heroic bosses with this class, right? It was just because they hadn't arrived. The monk is kind of an interesting beast. Not many people adopted it, unlike the Death Knight. When Death Knights were brought into the game, perhaps because of the tag of hero class, they were everywhere, right? They were like the lice in your pubes. You guys know what I'm talking about, of course, right? They're everywhere. You can't get rid of them. Death Knights were all over the place. They flooded our raids. Some guilds had something like 4 or 5 raiding ready Death Knights. They did. And it was also a case of, even in our guild, we had 3. We had 2 DPS and a tank Death Knight the day the Death Knight was launched. But not with the monk. That didn't quite happen. Why? Some say the playstyle, some say in the mystery of time that the monk didn't really have a suitably fitting playstyle. Wasn't unique enough. Kind of a combination of rep paladins, rogues, and all sorts of mishmashes of other classes thrown together that people just already didn't like. Well, I don't like that kind of play. I've kind of seen it before, therefore I'm not really going to play it. Okay. Also, the fact that it had all 3 specs kind of puts people off. Surprisingly. People like to be, I am DPS. I don't want the fear of somebody asking me to tank or asking me to heal. I am a healer. I don't want to DPS. I don't want to tank. These kind of things also put people off. A true hybrid class. So now the monk videos have started to come in, which is awesome. We're going to look at a Windwalker, and we're going to look at a Brewmaster. And then we're also going to take a look at a heroic encounter from a Blood Death Knight point of view. Nice contrast, right? Do you see the way it all linked together? It's like I prepared this shit beforehand, right? I spoke about the emergence of DKs and how the monk contrast came in, and then we're going to look at monks and DKs. Oh, this guy, this writing, this script writing. What a fucking guy. What a fucking guy. I'm going to kick off with the Windwalker Monk, right? Now, as usual, I want you guys to have a look at the UI. I want you to look at the UI. Now, okay. Alright. Prepare yourselves. Brace yourselves. Are you ready? Do you feel good? Do you feel like you're ready for what I'm about to show you? Do you feel like you're ready? I hope you're ready. Feast. Feast, ladies and gentlemen. Feast your eyes upon what I would like to say is the worst UI I have ever seen. And I have seen some atrocious UIs in my time. Are you ready? Am I building it up too much? I can't. I can't build this up too much. It's not going to be overhyped. You ready? Here we go. Hey, look, new fancy overlay. Ooh, I'm kind of stretched out. It's okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. My God. Oh, it gets better. Now, it's hot. It's hot. I like it. Big, right? Big. Yes, as Firestars put it, where do we start? This was an interesting video that I got sent in. And the character's name is actually legit. It's Winnie the Pooh. Awesome, right? Winnie the Pooh, the Windwalker Monk. I got this video, and I turned it on, as I would do, right? I hit that play button, and I was like, oh my. And then I was kind of watching through it. I was kind of flicking through the video, and I'm kind of like, The first thing I actually noticed, before I get too deep into this, is that he had an add-on which told him who had killed, that he had killed a mob. In massive giant letters, right? You see that? Winnie the Pooh has killed the Scarlet Fanatic. Like a hashtag victory was trending. I then reread the email. And he did say, oh, that's a PvP add-on. Don't worry about that one. He said, that's a PvP add-on. That's fine. But that's not really where the problems begin, is it? That's not really where it begins. I cannot possibly fathom what this resolution is. I can't work it out. It's somewhere between a potato and a cabbage. But we're not going to take too long assessing this video, because in fact, this is actually a good player. Okay, I'm about to mind blow you. I'm about to literally blow your mind. It's actually a good player. DPS is more than fine. His playstyle is more than fine. He's actually really quite good. He is really quite good. He's really quite a good player. And that was like, as soon as I see a UI like this, I kind of think, oh my God, what am I going to be seeing here? What kind of notes will I need to pick up with this? And I'm trying to, I'm making my notes. I've got my notepad out, which is legit, right? Save it in PDF. And I'm going through it, and I'm watching it, and I'm kind of like, this guy is actually pretty good. He's actually pretty damn good. I'm going to take you a little ways back, and we're going to see he's actually fine. He's actually pretty good. He plays pretty well. Pretty damn well. He actually knows the instance inside out. He picks up on a load of errors before they're a problem. He does. He does. He picks up on all kinds of problems before they become a problem. He knows what the fuck he's doing. And I ask you this. I put this to you. How do you know what the fuck is going on here? What sorcery is this? How can you possibly be a good player with this UI? How can you do this to me? What are you doing? How? How can you produce the results you produce and be looking at this screen? How can that happen? I say this to you, my friend. If you fix this, you will be the best Windwalker Monk in the world. So we're going to go play a little bit of this, and then we're going to jump into what needs to happen here. This is just the craziest shit I've ever seen. As you can see, using his Fist of Fury, planting his feet, moving around, getting his position ready, changes the current fire, going to make sure he's doing 100k DPS. DPS is fine. He's in decent gear. I think it's about 488 item level. Nice flying serpent kick, perfectly positioned flying serpent kick, to make sure he gets both of them. Dragging them in. Got his nice stun message there. Positioning, using everything he wants to do. Blah, 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 blah. Rising sun kick debuff, spinning crane kick. He's tearing this fucking place apart. But you can't see a damn thing. Can't see a damn thing, okay? Can't see a goddamn thing. Which is just baffling in all senses of the word to me. He notices that was pulled. He notices that an extra trash pack has been pulled, but he's following the tank. He's doing what he can do. He knows exactly. Positioning of the spinning crane kick is great. It's really good. It's very good. It's just ridiculously good. Could be a bit more helpful moving out in interrupts. Now this is bringing up interrupts, okay? Before we jump into this video, this first part is just let's fix this UI. Let's fix this UI first and foremost. We'll be doing that shortly. I will say this UI's main problem is interrupts fucking suck. Interrupts really suck. We'll see lots of instances of heals going off in his face. I think in total I counted something like 2 interrupts, which isn't as bad because he was going mad crazy deeps. But you can see that's how he's basically doing his interrupts here. So, okay, let's begin. We need to fix this. You need to fix this because this will overwhelm you. Your gameplay is actually good, right? Your gameplay is like fine. Your gameplay is actually fine. It's about fixing this so you become much better. Because one of the things that I do with the workshop is I don't play noise. I don't play the sound that's on your video. Because when you send me a workshop, you have kind of like music in the background. Usually some sort of like hip-hoppy, pop-pop-pop-pop, dub-dub-dub-wub-wub. Something like that. So I don't play that in the video. Because this UI is so horrifically grotesque, the only way he has managed to work around the fact that he will literally die as soon as something is placed under his feet is enormous ringing bell sounds. Like crazy boss mod sounds like "Badong, you're in trouble," and then he moves, which allows him to react very quickly. It does. It's a sort of band-aid fix. It's kind of like what Blizzard's doing with the Mage level 90 talents. The problem is the talents in the first place, right? Okay? But they're trying to band-aid fix the talents with some other fucking thing. But this is the same situation. The problem is I can't see my character at all. I can't. I'm not even joking. Look, you cannot find the monk in there. You can't find it. You cannot see his character. It's in here somewhere. My character is in there somewhere. If something lands on my feet, I have no idea. And a great place to see that is when he actually gets into Brother Karloff. I believe his name is Karloff. Yeah, Brother Karloff. Oh, well remembered by me. Gets in there like a boss. Starts tearing it up. I might actually turn the audio on. I'll turn the audio on. Make sure it's loud enough. I want you to listen for these bells and whistles. You hear that? Did you hear that? Okay, that's the kind of thing that we're relying on. Yeah, GTFO or whatever the add-on is. Because we just can't see our character, right? That's what's going on. That's the thing. Problem. We're gonna die. So that is like a band-aid solution to this. Okay, let's jump into this balls deep. GTFO. I have never even heard of that add-on. Grid, make smaller, whatever. It's the things we're tracking we don't need to track. That's the first problem. First problem is whatever this add-on is, it might even be the Blizzard built-in one. Let's turn that shit off. It's unbelievable. Your tell me when's are actually really good. You've got your Rising Sun Kick, which you need, your Fist of Fury, and you've got your Tiger Power. Awesome sauce. Nothing wrong with that. What actually happens is, I just want you to demonstrate how much of a problem this UI is. I'm going to go, alright, I'm going to let this play. I want you to spot something that's going to happen in about 5 seconds. Just watch the center of the screen, okay? Watch the center of the screen. And you'll see something happen that I guarantee most of you have never done in your entire life. It's happening now. Here it comes. Okay, does anybody spot what happened there? because of the UI. Did anybody notice what he actually had to do? What did he actually have to do to resolve this UI issue? No, in fact, Kyle Go got it straight away. There is so much information on his UI. He literally had to click off the timers. There was too many. He actually had to take time out of his gameplay to quite literally click off the timers. You can see how many timers are here overlapping. And then you see the mouse appear here. And then he straight up just goes ahead and he has to start clicking them away. Because there's so fucking many of them. He's clicking away the debuffs and the timers. That's what's going on here. He's having to click away. There's just so much going on that he has to click them away. There's just that much information happening at the same time. So we need to get rid of this. You don't need to be tracking Rising Sun Kick and Mortal Wounds. You don't need to do that. In any shape or form, you don't need to track them. Because, quite literally, if it doesn't land for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. You can't do anything about it. Rising Sun Kick is your primary DPS ability. You don't need to track that. Condense these buffs has just been pointed out. I understand you have a very low resolution, okay? I get it. I can tell from the screen you have a very low resolution. If you have a low resolution, that doesn't mean you need to be filling the screen with as much shit as possible. In fact, if you have a small monitor or a low resolution, time to really work around that issue by reducing what's on your screen as much as possible. The middle of your screen should be wide open, lovely, joyous occasion. We don't need to know we got +1 Tiger Brew. We don't need to know that, okay? We can see the tracks wherever we're tracking, which is up here. I'm not bothered about putting specific stuff in. If your boss mods are so spammy and your other timers are so spammy that you're having to actually click them away, like Blackout Kit, we don't need to track that. We don't need to track it in the least. We don't need to know. There's just so goddamn much going on here. So goddamn much. I imagine, and sound effects to do it. It's a giant mess. Your gameplay is really fine. It is. Surprisingly. It shouldn't be. Okay? I want you to know that you're doing really well, because you should not be able to cope with this. In any way. You should not be able to cope with this. Using the timers in GTFO is not cool. Is not cool. Some people say start over. If you're playing on a really low resolution, big add-on packs are not designed for you. They're not. The big add-on packs and stuff, I know a lot of you feel really tempted to go out there and get these really awesome add-on packs because they look cool. They're designed for big-ass fucking monitors. They're designed for at least 1920 by 1080. If you're not able to run in that, don't do it because you will just end up in a clusterfuck of shit. And if you start installing more add-ons on top of that, to counteract it, that's a band-aid fix to an additional problem that shouldn't be there in the first place, okay? You're a mage level 90 talent, you've just become Invocation, don't do it. Don't be a Rune of Power. Don't do it. Do not do it, okay? Don't do that. It's not cool. It's not cool. So that's our Windwalker. I'm just going to play through this again. I'm going to play through a little bit. Purely because I just want to show you that he's actually fine. His play is really cool. And it's no problems with it at all. He gets in there, he's maintaining his damage, he's got everything key-bounded. There was not much other stuff to talk about. His mobility was bang on, he knew exactly where he was going. I would like to have seen a lot more interrupting, but that's kind of... it's kind of the next sort of step, is people being able naturally to interrupt on command. UI certainly isn't helping with that. If you ever want to see where his cast bar is, it's actually down here. He knows what he has to interrupt. He's one of those guys. And how many of you are out there, right? You can interrupt, you just can't be asked. Right? You can't be asked. I could interrupt. I'm actually aware this thing is casting. I just can't be asked. And therefore you never interrupt. You don't give a shit. Guilty, 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 guilty as fuck. I'm sure. Job done, guilty. That's me. That's me, guilty. All these guys are guilty of this. I can interrupt. I'm fine at it. I just can't be asked. Nothing else. Nothing else, nothing more. I just cannot be bothered. Just try to break that habit. That lazy, 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 lazy habit. That lazy habit. Don't do that, okay? Interrupt wherever you can. It helps in so many ways. I cannot possibly describe to you how much it helps to be a good interrupter. A really good interrupter. Clicking away more stuff that's on the UI. What's an interrupt? Yeah, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Combo breaker, blackout kick is the biggest letters ever. Scale this motherfucker down, okay? Get it down. Your UI is just so much. This is just crazy. Look at all the stuff that spams on this screen. Absolutely crazy. I just want to show the interrupts to show you that he does interrupt. He knows exactly what he's doing. Mass Resurrection cooldown. Ignores the smite. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Thinks she casts his... oh, she's already cast it. Well, he interrupts Mass Resurrection. Don't worry about it. He has some add-on. I'm going to show it you. If you have this add-on, okay, this is like... Okay. There are a couple of add-ons that you guys install. I'm not saying you specifically, but the people I run into on a day-to-day basis, that I can't think of anything other than a literally like a penis stroking add-on. Alright? Like a complete penis stroking add-on. This add-on is one of those things, okay? That goes, oh yeah, I'm so fucking cool. Oh, he wasn't in time. He's about to cast it. Come on, Mograine. I knows you gonna do it. I'm fully aware. It's one of those add-ons that I just cannot believe somebody would tolerate going on in their gameplay, other than just to demonstrate how super fucking awesome they are. That. Who are you guys who have this? Who are you? Who the fuck are you who has this massive fucking box appear? It's like, I can't even describe what it feels like I think is happening on the other side of the screen. It's like, I'm playing. I interrupted! Me! It was me! It was me! I interrupted. Yes! Yes! I have, but I'm a tank. It doesn't matter. Why would you think anybody wants to see that? /say as well. At least whisper it to yourself. Jesus. I can't imagine why anybody would want that. If it's built into your eye, please do everyone else a favour. Turn it the fuck off. We hate it. Why is it not in /yell? Why is it not in /yell? I don't know. It needs to be more pronounced. It should be in /trade. It should be in general. I want it all over the world. I interrupted it. It was me. And it's got like the this is what's offensive by it, okay? It's got an exclamation mark. Like it should say #victory all over it. It's like exclamation mark. It was me. It was me. Look, it's got an exclamation mark. It's a really powerful statement. Really powerful statement. But overall, great gameplay, okay? I know we've mocked it quite a bit, but it's great gameplay. Your gameplay is really, really good. It's fine. It's no problem at all. I actually was pleasantly surprised. Don't worry too much. Any other tips are just going to be picked up based on the encounter. Your actual gameplay is fine. Don't worry about it. But that UI, dude, come on. Let's be friends. Okay. Continuing with our monks. We're going to be talking the last couple of sections about tanking cooldowns, okay? Tanking cooldowns are something that newer players don't really adopt too well because they treat them kind of like a DPS cooldown and more like a healer cooldown, right? Tanking cooldowns don't really work that way, especially considering we have lots of them. What am I talking about? I'm talking about being responsive and proactive, okay? You can either respond to something, which is what a lot of new players do. We respond to a situation, and what we do is we kind of put on our Iron Man armor. We blow everything immediately. We're about to die, holy shit, and we just enclose ourselves in this iron suit of death where we can't possibly die, and then we think we've done a good job. We didn't die, result, right? But what we actually want to do is prevent ourselves from ever entering that situation in the first place. That's better. There's no panic moments. Because what can happen when a tank dips? You blow things like shield wall, fucking dodge, guard, absorb, shield, last stand, rallying cry, fucking demoralizing banner. You blow all this crap and healers throw on you pain suppression, iron bark, and you're just covered in this fucking mountainous shit of cooldowns. And now you don't have anything for later on. And plus you've had this spiky damage. Healers are starting to use more mana. It leads to a whole fucking pile of crap we don't want to do. And we don't like that. Healers don't like that. Players don't like that. So we're going to jump straight into the first thing. I just want to let you guys play this through and tell me what you think of the UI. I know you guys like that. So let's have a look. See? Well, you guys, I do like checking out UIs and stuff. I like it too. I love it. I absolutely love it. Weird looking. Tell you why. Another pack, but a decent scale. Bit cluttered. The boss looks pretty. Boss looks pretty. Yeah, so it's another UI pack. I'm always wary of installing UI packs. As you know, my UI actually came from a pack. Okay, it came from the Keith UI pack, but you modify it and drop it, chop it. A lot of people don't do that. You install a UI pack, and you kind of go, well, that's my UI. That's it. Which isn't really what you should do. You like the look of it, you install the UI, all cool, and then you should start chopping and changing it to make it more suited. And what we actually run into is various little issues. A couple of comments on this UI is the double information, of course. We've got the double information here. Health, not really needed in any way, shape, or form. There's also double health here. You've got your health down here, and you've also got this, is this Ice Hood, this thing? I've never known why people find this useful. These bars that don't actually give you any information whatsoever that's relevant. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I really don't. This is one of the most baffling things. I've had this on my Rogue. I'm talking about this circular line shit round the side that's supposed to talk to you. I don't get it. I don't like it. It annoys me. It annoys me. And, yeah, Grid and Healbot Y. Again, we got a couple. Oh, come on, throw Voodoo in there. Yeah, Ice Hood. I don't like this. I don't know anybody who's ever managed to really play for an extended period of time just with this Ice Hood type thing. It was called something else in vanilla when I tried it. And it's not useful. It isn't. It's just, it looks kind of cool. That's why I installed it. It looks kind of cool. But no, it doesn't work. In practicality terms, it doesn't work. And on top of that, you've also got your own health frames here. What also bothers me is this is quite cool. You've obviously got all your cooldowns lined up here, which is awesome. Really good. But you've also overridden them with your raid frames. Don't like... Little bits of shit like that can actually disturb you as a tank. Can actually distract you quite heavily. You also have multiples of the same information here. Like you've got your elusive brew stacks there, and some various different cooldowns going on. Now, the first thing we're going to notice, if I can get this to disappear, is... Well, first, before we get into the cooldown thing, I want to talk about panic mode. This player is new, I would say he's new to key binding. Relatively new to key binding. I could tell this because we run into the situation of key binding is fine until I panic. Right? I'm assuming that's what happens here. Key binding is fine until I panic and I go back to my old ways. A lot of people try to switch to key binding by just binding everything, right? We just bind the whole fucking universe and we're gonna be okay. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to build into it. So people really, you spot a lot of panic here. It took me a while to notice because at the beginning of the video, as we've said in other workshops, the beginning of the video is actually quite fine. Look, you can see his key binding there. Now what you'll notice is, I can actually pause it there, you can see the tooltip for Keg Smash. Keg Smash is vitally important. It's a small tip because I'm not going to focus too much on the key binding clicking type aspect. That's not what we're here to do. You obviously know there's an issue there and you're still working on it. That's okay. One thing I did notice is you have Jab key binded, but not Keg Smash. Swap that around. If you can only really manage binding one of these chi generating abilities, it should be Keg Smash. Keg Smash is much more important. Much more important, okay? It's much more important than Jab. You'll get to have both of them, but Keg Smash is much more important. Because you don't have that key binded, there are long periods of time where you actually miss out on Keg Smash. And for those of you who are uninitiated, for a tank, Jab produces 1 chi, Keg Smash produces 2 for pretty much the same cost. Therefore, Keg Smash is twice as valuable. So it's pretty cool. Getting back into this then. So yeah, we don't have these key bounded. Now, one of the issues you said is you're actually worried about your survivability. Now, where is it? Come on, show me. I'm hoping actually one of the audience can actually help me with this. What is this? Here. I know what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I assume this is supposed to be a stagger monitor. Now, yeah, instantly I thought the same as you. Look at the stagger. Look at the stagger. It's got yellow stagger. That doesn't reflect in this. Okay? Now, when he changes his stagger, it doesn't actually change. So if it's a stagger add-on, it doesn't appear to be working from what I can tell. You can see it's still in yellow stagger. Still in yellow stagger. Still in yellow stagger. Come on. It will change. And then it disappears. Okay, let's come back. Yellow stagger again. Okay, here we go. Green stagger, same icon. Yellow stagger, same icon. A failed weak aura? Could be. Could be. Now, one thing I noticed, because I bring this up because I noticed you weren't controlling your stagger properly. One of the issues in the email is that I'm dying a lot. I feel like I'm dying a lot and I'm taking too much damage. I noticed this stagger add-on immediately, and I'm wondering this. Do you believe you're permanently in green stagger because this add-on isn't working? Or whatever it is. If it's a weak aura, it isn't working. If it's a stagger add-on, it isn't working. Whatever it is, it's not working because it doesn't change. And occasionally you keep sitting in like yellow and red stagger. Not cool. Not cool, okay? There's several periods throughout this fight where you sit in yellow and red stagger for quite a long period of time. If you're not sure what stagger is, this is how monks deflect their damage. 50% of the damage is changed into stagger, which was a dot that ticks on you, and then you can clear this dot away using Purifying Brew. And I didn't like this. I kind of think this is one of the issues, is that you're tracking your stagger via this, where your stagger is actually different, which is going to allow you to take a lot more damage. A lot more damage. Okay, the main crux of this was actually cooldown management. So I'm going to go back to here before we jump out and start tanking these ads. You don't have Elusive Brew keybound. And that creates problems, okay? Because we're not predictably using our cooldowns as much as we'd like to do that. And that's not good. That's not good. Because we're about to... There you go. You used your Elusive Brew there. Should not have done that. Should not have done that, okay? Should not have done that. And that was kind of a moment where we blew all cooldowns. We had Live Cocoon. We actually dipped in health there. And we had Live Cocoon on us. We blew everything we could possibly think of besides Shield Wall. We're about to start tanking the ads. And that's going to suck. So we've got yellow stagger right now. Yellow stagger. And there's the retreat. So we go into the next section of this fight as yellow stagger, which we don't want to do, right? If we're going to do a new section of the fight, especially one like this on Empress, where we take shitloads of damage, crazy amounts of damage, this thing hurts. We certainly don't want to go into it with a yellow stagger. We don't want to do that. And next thing, we've got a wonderful moment here. Now, because we used our Elusive Brew earlier and we didn't think about it, we actually take more damage here than necessary. We go in, we grab aggro, and we fall into panic mode. Now, if the bottom of the screen will actually disappear, you'll see how much clicking actually goes on here. This is panic mode. Look at the clicking that's going on here. We fall right back into our bad habits. And this makes us very, very slow to react, because there is no fucking way on earth we are watching these fucking mobs. There's no way. With the amount of clicking that goes on here, we can't possibly be doing that. You can see clicking, 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 and all that kind of stuff. And it's a very melee. We blew every cooldown in the sun, except one of the most important ones. Because that's the only one we haven't got keybound. Pretty much. It's the only one we haven't got keybound. Is our ability to dodge everything. If I'm charging into a huge pack of melee mobs, the best thing I can do is not diffuse magic. No, the best thing I can do is dodge the fuck out of it. I'll take any amount of melee mobs with an outrageous amount of dodge. I'll live the fucking dream. I'll laugh my ass off. I will stand there all day just laughing at them while I'm dodging the fuck out of everything. But we didn't predict it, and that's why we need to be a predictable tank. We blew all our cooldowns because we suddenly dipped in health. Dipped in health, must put all shields up immediately, right? And then we left to this situation where we actually charged into melee mobs. We panicked. We started clicking. Which made us a little bit slower. And the interesting thing that we see when people fall into this panic mode, I know you've all done it, even if you're keybound now, if you're a clicker at some point, you've been in this moment, and we can see the decision-making process change while we're clicking, because we simply do not have enough time to do all the functions we want to do. I just want you to watch this. at the bottom. This should disappear. As he starts to go into the clicking panic mode, you'll see he mouses over things to actually press them, and what occurs is a change of heart of exactly what the fuck we should be pressing. We're not sure, we should be Breath of Fire, now we're crackling Jade Lightning, we're mousing over Expel Harm, back to Fortifying Brew, back to Purifying Brew, Keg Smashing again. The Keg Smash is still spamming Keg Smash, back to Healing Sphere. You can see the mouse trying desperately to meet what the brain is doing. To meet what the brain is doing. Your brain is saying, I need to do this, 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 this. But your hand's like, I can't really do that because the game doesn't work that way. Simple as. Simple as. So cool. So, and the most important ability there was just Elusive Brew. We could have laughed all fucking day with Elusive Brew. We just dodged the shit out of them. But we didn't prepare for it. Always thinking ahead with the stank. Okay? Always thinking ahead. The gameplay is actually cool again, which is always nice to see. Gameplay was always really cool. Even though we had these silly moments where we just didn't really think about what our cooldowns do. What do they do? I once had a tank, dude. I once had a tank in my guild. In Darkstorm. Any members of Darkstorm will, of course, remember this. On the Throne of the Four Winds. Who said I blew a cooldown, but she kept dying. This prop paladin kept dying. So these huge physical hits. She said I used my trinket. We said, what trinket? She said the Mastery Trinket. That also, when on use, prevents spell damage. She had no idea what these trinkets do. It's a tanking trinket. I've been told trinket, right? And she's going, I blew my cooldowns. I used my trinket. So what trinket? The spell damage trinket. Oh, right, okay. And it made me cry. It makes me sad. Understand what your spells do. If you're going to charge into an army of melee Spartan mobs, you want to dodge the fuck out of them, right? You don't want to diffuse magic. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to do any of that kind of stuff. You want to get in there and don't panic. Blowing everything at once, you're going to have a bad time. But overall, pretty good. Your positioning and stuff was fine. In terms of your DPS, he also said he felt his DPS was smaller. It's the Keg Smash that's actually really letting you down. As you can see right here, this is a perfect example. I want you to just check this at the bottom. Because we don't have Keg Smash bound, but we do have Jab bound, what you'll see is that in 3, 2, 1, Keg Smash comes off cooldown. We're just spamming jab. As you can see, because we're now using the mouse to look at the camera. This is why clicking is a problem. This is why clicking is a problem. This is where we're using the mouse for something else. As he starts to use the mouse for the camera, we totally forget about Keg Smash. Because we click it. Because we're clicking Keg Smash and we use the camera for something else, we sacrifice a lot of our ability to generate chi, to use our abilities effectively, and to generate a lot more defensive abilities. We just suffer it all, which is one of the aspects. If you need to click something, please switch it to jab. Keg Smash is vitally important, okay? It really is. Because we need the mouse to look around. As a good tank, we're using the camera constantly. As a good player, we're using the camera constantly. We can't afford to just sacrifice everything because we can't click something. Because that really lets us down. You can die doing things like that. You don't want to do that. Especially cooldowns. But they do go on to kill it, which is all good. Few UI changes, and please get Elusive Brew keybound. You sit at 15 stacks for eternity, all the time. Pretty much 15 stacks, 15 stacks, skip on, 15 stacks. So we used it at some point, we're at 12 stacks, 15 stacks, 11 stacks, 15 stacks. We're sitting permanently, almost entirely on 15 stacks of Elusive Brew. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, okay? A few things to work on there. Let's fix up the UI up. Get those bound. They're very important. Very important. And then just think about what our cooldowns do. We want to be proactive. I'm about to charge a ton of fucking mobs with chainsaws. I want to dodge them. All good, instead of being like panic mode, okay? Don't worry about the clicking and key binding too much. You'll get there. You're working on it. I can see that. That's fine. But we'll get there. But don't remember, and you see it yourself, because you need your mouse to do things like camera, we can't really afford to sit around waiting for key binding to come to us. We have to force the issue. Force yourself to permanently be using the mouse for camera and movement, and you'll start falling into place. Alright? Good stuff, though. Good video, and I like it. Our final video today is going to reflect some ideas of how proactive tanking is cool instead of a reactive tanking process. We're going to be looking at a Heroic Death Knight, a member of Amon Kako. We've seen him before. Our Blood DK. who's going to be doing Shah of Fear Heroic, the final boss of this tier in its hardest difficulty. It's the pull. If you don't know about Shah of Fear Heroic, you need to get to phase 2 to gain a buff before you actually try for the kill. So this is a wipe pull, the first one of the night. And we're going to be showing it. So he's using my UI, so I'm not going to complain too much, because it must be awesome, right? It must be awesome. Okay. Must be awesome. Goes in with the Army of the Dead. Now, if you've never done this fight as a tank, and you don't know how DKs work, you're not going to see much. Very difficult to watch somebody else play and understand exactly how much they play. He installed this add-on, which was for us. This is a boss swings. Okay, the boss swung twice and it caused damage. Now he uses this in order to predict what's going on. As a tank, there's a couple of things that are really, really dangerous on this fight. Particularly this one, Thrash. As you can see, it's essentially the only major boss timer he has for this fight. Why? And I always say this to you. If it doesn't concern you in the least, you don't need it on your timers. You don't need that information on your screen. If it doesn't affect you in the fucking least, don't have it on your screen. Why? Why have it on the screen? If it doesn't change anything in the world, don't bother with it. It's not worthwhile. If there's something that is seriously concerning you, then you need it on, right in front of your face. As a tank, Thrash is the issue. So, as you can see, the Thrash here, if you don't know what Thrash is, it's the boss's ability to swing at you multiple times very, very quickly and cause you very bad karma. Now, this is all going to be about how DKs use their cooldowns. Now, this is the first bit of the fight, so he doesn't actually do much. There's nothing much else going on. He has a shitload of healers, keeps his blood shield nice and high. No big deal at all. No big deal at all. Just spammy of Death Strike a little bit. So, this is what I really want to show you, and this is where DKs really come into their own. 6 minutes. Where are we? Okay. Now, this is where DKs really come into their own, and why being a more observant tank instead of a reactive tank actually allows you to be much better. Death Strike works based on the damage you just took. Most people know that, but they don't really give a shit about it, right? Death Strike heals me. People know 2 or 3 things, right? Death Strike is based on the damage I just took in the last few seconds. Most people go, Death Strike heals me and gives me a shield. And that's it. That's all. No, that's all we care about. Thrash is really dangerous, especially later in the fight. Thrash can easily kill you. What he actually does here, and why he has this swing timer for Thrash, is the ability to actually slide a Death Strike in between Thrash strikes. This changes a DK. How many DKs have you seen who just go, oh, I'm dead now? DKs who don't really understand how Death Strike works. That's what happens. Oh, I'm dead. Thrash hits really hard. End of story. End of discussion. Some other tank is more powerful at this than me. All the fucking time. Blood DKs are no... They don't really know what the fuck is going on. They just die. Oh, DKs are shit at this fight. And that's about it. That's about it. That's all DKs say. Whereas actually a good DK plans well ahead of what the hell is going to happen. And we're going to see this here. Whoa. Yep, good. Okay, we're going to see this here. Now, as you can see, Thrash is about to hit. And you can see, as it swings... Come on, baby. It's actually the previous one. This is a clearer demonstration. Come on. Because this is all predicted... Yeah, exactly. So I was just pointing out DKs are really good at this. It's because all the damage is completely predictable. Completely predictable. As you see Thrash come in, he slides in another Blood Strike. It's this one here. Come on, I had it at 6 minutes. Bitch, you suck. 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing and a miss. And you see the Thrash comes down, drops in the Death Strike there, in between the swing, and it's all good. And you can see he got 4 misses. And you see his Bone Shield is up there. Now, this is all pre-planned. This is what I want you to see. This is all completely pre-planned. He has Bone Shield up, because it's gonna stop all that extra damage. Death Strike in between swings. And that's just it. He takes almost no damage. All you see is just absorb. It's just dealt with. It's done with. And you can see earlier on, a lot of people are like, oh, he saved Bone Shield for that? Yes, absolutely. Completely saved Bone Shield. There are times like this where tanks do this excessively boring job of running around collecting these orbs so people could do mad DPS, where his Bone Shield is going to be off cooldown. Now, there are a million DKs out there who just press Bone Shield the second it is off cooldown. No, wrong. We don't do that. He saves it. He saves it because he's going to need it for Thrash. It's one of the most powerful cooldowns he can use against Thrash. Going to run around normally, keeping diseases on, keeping that weaken blows debuff on, which is nice to see. Always good to see. Just sticking a Death Strike on as he runs away, just keeping his Blood Shield on, and doing his job as normal. Now, we see what comes along here. I don't always, as I say, if you've got weaker gear, the next thing might not be that great for you. Might not be that much of a plan. But he does know that Death Blossom is coming soon. There's Death Blossom coming. As he wants to still collect the orbs. Quick run in as soon as Death Blossom. There's Death Blossom. Instantly changes direction. Sticks up a nice big fat Blood Shield. Absorbs most of the damage. And a Vampiric Blood. Vampiric Blood. And people are asking me, will we see tanks with over 1 million health? 928 there. And really, really easy thinking there. It's all pre-planned. It's all pre-planned. Oh, Death Blossom's coming. Vampiric Blood. Double Blood Shield. I'm fine. I'm more than fine. And that's the reactive gameplay. That is the reactive gameplay. It's just done. It's done. It's fine. We knew it was coming. We dealt with it. All good. And again, saving all cooldowns, our major cooldowns, including Dancing Rune Weapon, for when we're going to need it later on for Thrash. Here comes the Thrash. It's on the Paladin. Here comes Thrash. We've got all our cooldowns up. Bone Shield is on. Soaking the damage. Missed damage. Missed damage. All good. And predicted it. And that's the difference. That's what you want to move to. As we saw in the second video, is the tank who's reacting. Blows all cooldowns. Oh my god, I'm about to die. Next time when we see a Paladin, a DK, who's moved up to the heroic level, more relaxed. Doesn't take barely any damage. A DK just not even sinking, not even bothering about it. All really, really fucking good. Awesome stuff. And that's our workshop for today. Pretty cool, pretty tanking stuff. I like tanking stuff. I like good use of cooldowns. It always makes it interesting. If you want to submit to the workshop, all you need to do is upload a video. You can use any of the free software, such as OBS, to record yourself playing, and send it to preachgaming@gmail.com, or just upload it to YouTube and send me the link. That's all I want to see. Do we have any questions about tonight's workshop before I go away? I would like to know. And then I'm going to go and have dinner with my wonderful fiancée, which is always good. Nice workshop. You enjoyed that? Good. That's all. That's good stuff. Okay. I hope to see you guys doing that. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. So I'm going to go to dinner now. I'm going to go to dinner. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for tuning in with me. I had a great evening. I enjoyed that, and I hope to see you for Thursday and Friday. We may have a drama day tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. Depends how I feel today. Depends how I feel today. After I've had dinner. We'll see. We'll see. I'll certainly be streaming at 9 AM in the morning. Yeah, we'll be staying away from the curry. It's all good. Have a good evening, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.